Sorare have been developing and innovating the game so much at such a great pace over the last couple of months, it has been hard to keep up. But over the last month, there's been a big tease coming out of Sorare that they're going to be adding something into their reward boxes that should change the whole game in terms of the paradigms and what is available and how exciting the boxes are. And earlier today, we got the announcement of your card factory of Essence and everything around it. In the video today, we're going to be unboxing it. We're going to see exactly what they've laid out for us here. What does it mean? Is it cool? Do we want it? Is it exciting? And everything else in between. At any point in the video, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, whether it be Sorare specific stuff or general world football, anything we try and cover on the channel. And get into the comment section on this one and let me know, is this a W or is this an L? And yeah, let's just get stuck straight into it. One of the things I love about doing these unboxing videos on any announcements or any new developments that Sorare bring out is we can really kind of go through it together. The comment section are great for getting interactions and your thoughts and feelings on everything, as well as, you know, I've read the thing once or twice before doing the video, but it is essentially my first time really taking it all in and going through some stuff. And yeah, like with all of this stuff, we got a lovely blog and some fantastic graphics. Sorare are really leaning in to the world building, the lore building of their game and, you know, what kind of goes on in the game. You know, you're the club owner, the director, the manager, and training facilities and stadiums, card factory. You know, they are trying to lean into the whole fact of like your ownership of your team, of your club, of your cards, of your game, when you're gaming, all that good stuff. So I love the effort that's been into this. We can see the cards are in the shivers after a tough game week. You know, we've got reward boxes, we've got trophies on the wall. It all looks really cool. I love the effort that's been into it. But as we see, as we go through the article and we kind of see the breakdown of everything, I think there's going to be some of the terminology isn't going to hit with a lot of people. I think, you know, it is a wee bit gamify. It is a little bit story mode, you know, crafting and sports science, the Sorare Industries, the Sorare, you know, sports science, all this stuff is coming together. Like, I love the effort they're putting into it. They do need to name this, you know, Essence. They do need to call it something. We'll come to what it is in a bit more detail. But when you do read this, it does feel tonally quite different to a lot of the other stuff that we've had from them in the past. And I know that might jar people or maybe take them out of what they normally expect to see from a Sorare blog or whatever. But I do really appreciate the effort. I think the effort is warranted, that you do want to give the game a universe it lives in or a space it lives in some way without it being too over the top and whatever. So there's maybe a fine balance to strike, but again, lovely graphics, lovely imagination going into all of this. How is this scientifically possible? So what's going to happen is with the card factory, we've got a factory. And what we want to do is we want to go out there and we want to collect Essence. And as part of that, we are going to be able to unlock card rewards. So play well in Sorare Fantasy Football, get Essence, and we'll talk about how you get that shortly. And when you've got enough of it, you convert that into a card reward, which is very exciting. So how does the factory operate? The Essence capsules are in reward boxes on Sorare Rivals and Sorare Pro. Collect enough Essence across multiple game weeks and your progress will be rewarded. The higher the division, the better the box, the more chances you have to get a higher number of Essence capsules. So it feels like these things are going to come out as a token, as an item. So it's like one Essence capsule, limited, rare, super rare, whatever it might be, rather than like maybe like 5,000 Essence in this capsule and maybe 1,000 in this capsule. It feels like it's just going to be an item, you know, and it'll be a case of saving them up along some sort of progress bar that might come along somewhere. And we're going to activate them, redeem them against winning card rewards. And then I love all the effort they've went to here, the Breaking Bad style with the periodic table, you know, the lettering and stuff like that. It's all cool fun. And yeah, this is cool. This is fun. Wee bit over the top for a little blog, but it looks cool. Definitely good bang for buck from them. The more you progress, the better the rewards. With enough Essence collected from Fusion Power, it really does take you out of it sometimes, this chat. Managers can visit the card factory to craft a new card for their club. Based on this recipe, you can craft a card at a specific Essence milestone, each offering a guaranteed card with varying probabilities of a specific card tier. So the way I read this is we're going to collect I don't know about that whole recipe. That word does throw me off a little bit. That maybe there is under 23 essence, there is Argentinian essence, perhaps. I don't know, but it does feel primarily as scarcity based. They do reference this later in the blog somewhere also, but we're going to see how much essence we've got and what we can possibly redeem that as. And I expect this to be like, it would say like tier 2, and you've got a 20% chance of it being champion, 40% chance it's this region, and then 40% chance it's that region, and 5% it's something random or whatever. And as you hit the different milestones, those percentages are going to change. Now, maybe because it's your card factory and your club, maybe it'll be quite tied into what you actually have, what you actually buy and trade with already, and you don't get that potential to get something out of region or something that doesn't fit or gel into your existing club. I would hope that level of effort has went into it, because the recipe part of this does make me think that like my essence rewards potential will be different from your potential in a roundabout way, and that might be because of the collections you hold, the regions you play, something like that. For example, if you collect enough essence for the highest milestone, so there is a ceiling, there is a point where you have to redeem, it goes no further. Once crafted, you're guaranteed a star or a tier 1 card. So your probabilities are probably, it's 50-50 star or tier 1. Maybe it's like 20% star and champion, 20% tier 1 in champion, so on and so forth, however they're going to break it down. So it does go on to say that the essence itself isn't tied to a specific competition, but only a scarcity. We'll see like yellow essence, red, blue, black, I'm sure, all that kind of thing. But with that word recipe being in there and the sports science, some of the kind of, it does feel like it should be quite close to being tailor-made to my gallery without it being, oh, you're just going to win a Celtic card. Maybe, but it feels like one step back from that, so that really, like, we'll kind of finish the unboxing of it, but because there's not much more here. This doesn't affect the reward supply. We're reallocating some of the card rewards given out through boxes, as well as part of the prize pools of some competitions that are about to be phased out. So this shouldn't detract from anything that's here already. You can expect more details on Essence and Card Factory soon, before the 2 special international competitions start. And it does say somewhere that, like, by the time the Euros come here, the factory should be in operation at your Sorare club. Now, I think there's a few big takeaways from this one. The first one for me is this gives every manager a sincere chance at winning high-tier cards, high-quality cards that maybe they otherwise couldn't afford, or they're, they need to wait super long before they'd be able to trade their way into it or save up the money to go and buy them. And I think that's what everyone wants from reward boxes, and reward boxes are great for that, but you still need to get into positions to win reward boxes in the right divisions also. Whereas with this, it doesn't matter if you're in Division 4, it doesn't matter if you're in Division 1, it doesn't matter what region you're in or whatever, you've got just as much of a chance of acquiring essence and hitting up that essence like progress bar, totem pole, whatever you want to think of it as, to redeem the level of card, the level of reward you think your effort and your achievement maybe should have been rewarded against, like, some of the other, performances. That way when you get a good team and it smashes in, but it was a tough weekend and tough luck, like, you didn't get into the rewards. Because I think that was the whole idea, the original premise behind the progress bar, which we can kind of joke about now, and it feels like we finally have it in the flesh. What people kind of thought that the threshold would achieve. And ultimately, it's a resounding W for me. I think this is a huge, very welcomed addition to the Sorare gaming arena, because with Sorare Rivals taking on its new iteration, which I've had a lot of fun with, I won my first card out of a box this week because of it. Woohoo, go me. As well as the revamp of all the divisions, regions, everything that we've seen so far, it does feel like the reward pool has been a little bit constipated over this last period of the season. And it does feel like, I believe that the reward pools going into next season should be bigger and more fuller across divisions, scarcities, boxes, all this kind of thing, because we know how many rewards they should have at their disposal. But when you also see this factored into it as well, it's not just the high rollers, the guys that win divisions, that get into the boxes all the time, get into the cards all the time, that can actually tap into this and enjoy it. But legitimately, every player in the game has the potential to tap into this and to win card rewards, not just power-ups, not just tickets and random crap like that nobody really is excited to win. And the second thing, this was said to me by McBride Ace, so I'm sure he said this on his own channel by now, but it is like low-key a good way of rewarding the hyperactive players, guys that scoop boxes for fun, that are getting level ups everywhere that get quite boring quite quickly. Adding this kind of thing into your repertoire just gives you another dimension on something to get out the boxes that, hey, that's at least not another power-up. And, like, Myself, like, I go through periods of the season where I'll win like 3-4 weeks in the bounce and I don't win anything for a month, but you're still competing, you're still hitting good scores, you're still getting boxes, but nothing's really coming out of them. And even if you're not absolutely smashing, you can still get that winning feeling, that kind of progression feeling that, like, oh, if I get 2 more essence capsules and that's me up to a tier 2 or a tier 1 or whatever, and I really need one of them because I'm missing a good enough forward, or, you know, whatever it is. And again, as I say that, because of some of the terminology and the way this is all kind of worded, like, I do think that you will be able to get a forward out of this. You'll be able to get a goalkeeper out of this somehow, because it's your card factory at your club and you're using your sports science with fusion and essence and all the fun stuff we've got here to craft your own new card for your club. So I do feel that there will be something, maybe multiple things, that enhance the chances of the card being useful and valuable to you and your club. So I think as a first unveil, as a first kind of announcement, very polished, very well explained. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the details coming out. And overall, I think it's a huge W. Very, very exciting development for the game. And as we roll through the summer, like the internationals and then into the new season or whatever, again, I don't think you want Sorare to be too complicated with all these extra parts where things happen, the shop and the factory and training and this and that and rivals. It is getting quite busy. But Sorare is like, it's quite a deep end game. You know, it's one of these things that when you're bit by the bug, you're in. And the more things that they've got to satisfy your kind of need for fun or satisfy your attention span or whatever, the better. The more engaged you are with your club, the better you feel about the cards you're winning, using, playing, trading with, and all the rest of it. And yeah, maybe I would change some of the terms. Maybe I would have just dialed back a little bit on some of the world building, you know, lore building kind of vocabulary that's in here. Because I do think for some Sorare managers that are a bit more straight-laced and spreadsheets and ROI, this probably won't sit too well with some of them. They'll be like, I'm not a Wayne, I'm not a kid, don't talk to me like one. But it is a game, it is fun, and the more like immersive it can be, the better. So I'm all about that. But yeah, I'd maybe tone some of it down on this kind of launch and maybe leave that for just public, you know, like outreach, as it were. I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. I'm really looking forward to seeing what your first thoughts and feelings are about the Sorare Card Factory, essence, and everything else that goes around it in the comment section down below. On screen now is some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one.